Right now, without you thinking about it, without you asking it to, something inside your chest is squeezing and releasing and squeezing again. It's done it about 100,000 times today, about 35 million times this year, and if you're lucky, about 2.5 billion times in your lifetime. Most people think they understand the heart. It pumps blood. It keeps you alive. You feel it race when you're scared. But here's what most people don't know. The heart isn't just a pump. It's actually two pumps, working in perfect synchrony, running on their own electrical system, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for your entire life. And when that system fails, even for a few minutes, the consequences can be catastrophic. Today, we're going inside the heart. We're going to understand exactly how it works. And then we're going to answer the question that could literally save your life. What really causes a heart attack? Let's start with the basics. The heart is a hollow, muscular organ, roughly the size of your fist, sitting slightly left of center in your chest, tucked between your lungs. It's made mostly of a special type of muscle called cardiac muscle. And unlike any other muscle in your body, cardiac muscle never tires. It contracts, relaxes for decades without ever needing a break. Now, the heart has 4 chambers. The top 2 are called the atria, one on the left, one on the right. The bottom 2 are the ventricles, again, left and right. Think of the atria as receiving rooms. Blood flows in and waits here. And the ventricles as pumping chambers. They're the ones doing the heavy lifting. Between and around these chambers are 4 valves, biological doors that open to let blood through and snap shut to prevent it flowing backwards. You can actually hear them, that familiar lub-dub of a heartbeat. That's the sound of your valves closing. Lub, the mitral and tricuspid valves closing as the ventricles contract. Dub, the aortic and pulmonary valves closing as the ventricles relax. The heart doesn't just pump blood in one loop. It runs 2 separate circuits simultaneously. Circuit 1 is called the pulmonary circulation. The right side of the heart receives oxygen-depleted blood from the body. The right ventricle then pumps it to the lungs, where it drops off carbon dioxide, picks up fresh oxygen, and returns to the heart. Circuit 2 is the systemic circulation. The left side receives that now oxygen-rich blood from the lungs. The left ventricle, which is significantly more powerful than the right, pumps it out through the aorta, the body's largest artery, and sends it to every single cell in your body. Muscles, brain, kidneys, skin, eyes, everything. Both circuits run at the same time, in perfect coordination, every single heartbeat. And here's something remarkable. The left ventricle has to work much harder than the right, because it's pumping blood the entire length of your body against gravity, under high pressure. That's why the left ventricle's walls are 3 times thicker than the right ventricle's. In a single day, your heart pumps approximately 7,000 liters of blood. That's enough to fill about 50 bathtubs, every single day. Now here's the part that truly makes the heart extraordinary. The heart doesn't need your brain to tell it to beat. It has its own built-in electrical system, its own internal pacemaker, called the sinoatrial node, or SA node. It's a tiny cluster of specialized cells in the upper right atrium, and it generates an electrical impulse approximately 60 to 100 times per minute. That impulse spreads outward like a wave across both atria, causing them to contract and squeeze blood down into the ventricles. Then the signal reaches a relay station called the atrioventricular node, or AV node, which briefly delays the signal. This pause is crucial. It gives the ventricles time to fill completely before they contract. The signal then travels down specialized pathways, the bundle of His and the Purkinje fibers, triggering the ventricles to contract from the bottom up, squeezing blood efficiently upward and out. This entire electrical sequence, from start to finish, takes less than half a second. And that wave of electricity? That's exactly what a doctor is reading when they look at an ECG, an electrocardiogram. Each peak and dip on that trace represents a different moment in the heart's electrical cycle. The P wave, the atria contracting. The QRS complex, the ventricles firing. The T wave, the ventricles resetting. When something goes wrong with this electrical system, when the signal gets disrupted, goes haywire, or stops entirely, that's when life-threatening arrhythmias occur. Now, the question you've been waiting for. What really causes a heart attack? And the answer is both simpler and more complicated than most people think. The heart muscle is incredibly active. It needs its own constant blood supply. That supply comes through the coronary arteries, vessels that wrap around the outside of the heart like a crown. A heart attack, medically known as a myocardial infarction, happens when blood flow through one of these arteries is suddenly blocked. The heart muscle downstream of that blockage is starved of oxygen, and heart muscle cells, without oxygen, begin to die within minutes. But here's the crucial part. This almost never happens overnight. Heart attacks are the dramatic final act of a process that has been building for decades. It starts with atherosclerosis, the slow accumulation of fatty deposits, cholesterol, inflammatory cells, and calcium in the walls of the arteries. These deposits are called plaques. Over years and years, plaques grow and harden, gradually narrowing the artery, reducing blood flow, but often causing no symptoms whatsoever. Then, sometimes triggered by stress, physical exertion, inflammation, or seemingly nothing at all, a plaque ruptures. The surface tears. And the body responds to this tear the way it responds to any injury. It sends platelets and clotting factors rushing to the site. A blood clot forms rapidly and can completely block the artery in minutes. That's the heart attack. The muscle downstream stops receiving oxygen. Cells begin to die. That's why time is absolutely critical. The medical phrase, time is muscle, is literal. Every minute without blood flow means more heart muscle lost, permanently. The classic warning signs: chest pain or pressure, often described as a tightening, squeezing, or heaviness. Pain radiating to the left arm, jaw, neck, or back. Shortness of breath. Nausea or cold sweats. A feeling of impending doom. But here's what many people, especially women, don't know. Heart attacks don't always look like the dramatic Hollywood clutch-the-chest collapse. In women, symptoms are often atypical. Unusual fatigue, nausea, upper back pain, jaw discomfort, and they are far too often dismissed or misdiagnosed. So, what drives the atherosclerosis that leads to heart attacks? The major risk factors are well established, and importantly, most of them are modifiable. High blood pressure, relentlessly damaging artery walls, making them more susceptible to plaque formation. High LDL cholesterol, particularly when oxidized, it embeds in artery walls and triggers inflammation. Smoking, damaging the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of arteries, and accelerating plaque buildup dramatically. Type 2 diabetes. High blood sugar damages blood vessels and amplifies every other risk factor. Physical inactivity. The heart, like any muscle, weakens when not challenged. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, raises blood pressure, and promotes inflammation. And genetics. Family history matters, particularly for early onset heart disease. The good news? Cardiovascular disease is largely preventable, and even people with genetic risk can significantly reduce their likelihood of a heart attack through regular physical activity. Even 30 minutes of brisk walking daily makes a measurable difference. A diet rich in vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and healthy fats, and lower in ultra-processed foods and trans fats. Not smoking. Managing blood pressure and cholesterol, with medication if needed. Prioritizing sleep and stress management. The heart is extraordinarily resilient, but it responds to how you treat it. The heart is, without question, one of the most remarkable structures in the known universe. A self-powered, self-regulating, dual-circuit pump running continuously for decades that can accelerate from 60 beats a minute to over 200 during exercise and recover in seconds. It's not just an organ, it's engineering that billions of years of evolution produced, and that we are only beginning to fully understand. Take care of yours. If this video helped you understand your heart better, share it with someone you care about. It might just matter more than you think. We'll see you in the next one.
Curiosity is the key to the universe, unlocking infinite knowledge.